So a lot of other stuff happened as well. We have the macOS Big Sur, yes sir. I refuse to call it Big Sur. I do. I simply just refuse to call it Big Sur. It's weird. It's just incredibly weird. But they've decided to do a redesign, and much to a lot of people's hatred, they don't like it. So I'm going to do my take on it real quick. So let's find it real quick on here. So you can see here that it's interesting. I feel like, I don't know, what am I going to say here? I just need to think about what I'm going to say here because I like it, but I don't like it. It's interesting. So, I don't know. It's just, I feel like Apple has taken the old OS X 10 design and they've gone, we really like that, but we also really like the new, the Catalina icons, the icons that have been on macOS for years. We really like that. So why don't we try and just have a baby with it, a baby with it basically, and try and birth icons that basically look like the old OS X, but the new macOS. And it's a bit of a cluster. It's a bit of a cluster, if I'm quite frank with you. It's ugly. Let's just get that out of the way. It is ugly. There's some things in it that are nice, that I like. It's nice to have the shadows, and it's a bit more 3D. It's got a bit more depth to it. But I just think it's a bit of a backward step for something that Apple was trying to do minimalism with. But I feel like they've gone over the top with it. I mean, if we look at tweets from Marques Brownlee, one thing that a lot of people don't like is the battery indicator inside the battery. I mean, I agree. I mean, what is that? Like, what is that? That is so backwards for me. That is basically taking something that was good and changing it just because you feel like you need to change it because you've had the same look for years. It's backwards. It's completely weird. I don't know if it's a placeholder for the actual icon that's coming, but I really hope that they change that because that is just completely backwards. I don't get why they were trying to do this or what they were trying to do. People think it was their new silicon that they're making, their chips. They think that they were trying to change it up to say, look, this is a new generation of Mac, this is a new generation of Mac OS. But I just feel like they really, really missed the mark on it. I mean, dear Apple, my only macOS Big Sur feature request is to completely redesign this icon. All. Thank you. It's grim. It's really not the nicest. So that was everyone. That's all that anyone can focus on. I mean, forget about, the new Safari features where you can actually have pictures as the Safari home screen on your Safari main page, which is fantastic. I've always wanted that. Like, I actually want to use Safari now. And I love Safari. I think Safari is fast. I think Safari is great. But that just needed some personalization. It needed some touch to it. So now that we've got a touch to it, I feel like people are going to want to use Safari a lot more. So we have that. We have, there's so much here. There's the car key feature, and macOS. I mean, revolutionary wallpapers for the CarPlay. You get a wallpaper now for your car. Now, what's cool is the Airpods update. Let's ditch macOS. Let's get rid of macOS here because, listen, macOS is great. Big Sur, new icon redesign. It's good. I mean, you can. I don't know. I don't want to cover it because I feel like macOS is the same every year. And to be honest, I watched the keynote and not a lot changed. And it's not being hard or anything like that. But my opinion on it is really just the fact that it's not a lot has changed. It's really just the same. And I like it. I like the redesign other than the icons, the transparency, the control center now, which is basically just ripped iPhone control center and put it into the Mac. But the way they've done it, I feel like it's intended to feel like you need to touch the screen to be able to change the controls, but it's actually touch. So it's different to me. It's interesting. But we've got the sidebars. You've got It's really the same. I mean, every year they do the same things. It's 50% faster than Chrome, one more hour battery life than Chrome. You get the same group chat feature and iMessage features, and that's the same for iPad OS. So let's quickly touch on, what was I going to say? I think we're going to touch on AirPods. That's it, AirPods. So this is interesting. It only works for AirPods Pro, so unfortunately it doesn't work for any AirPods 1 or Generation 2, but it's spatial awareness. So it's taking the theatre sound that you get the 3D spatial audio from theatres, and it's putting that into your AirPods, which is great nonetheless. But what they go an extra step further, that the gyroscopes can track where the movement of your head is, so it can kind of keep the sound level, so it doesn't sound like it's kind of generated and fake, kind of. So it moves with the device as well, so when you move around, it knows where you're moving and when you've put that device down. It's buzzy, and no one's been able to test it yet because I don't think Apple have allowed it yet, but it's great nonetheless. I think that's a cool feature to have. Great work. That's what we need, and I think AirPods are already great, but that just takes it a step further, which is awesome.